Hey everyone. Uh, One of the topics that I've wanted to talk to you guys about with regard to MS is what the bad days look like. Yeah, cheerful, right? Today is one of, I'd say 4 or 5 bad days in a row this week, which is part of the reason why we're doing this live and not the way I wanted to originally, nor on the topic that I wanted to originally. And that's honestly, for me, that's what the bad days look like, the rough days. For me, it's very important to keep moving forward as best I can. So that means a lot of adapting and overcoming the situations as they arise. So today, you might hear some fan noise in the background, and you might notice that this is not my preferred microphone. And that's just the way the news goes. So, how did this happen? Where are we at? So, I do this in my off time, and that means after work, weekends, that kind of thing. When the baby's not, needing attention. I got 3 kids. I got a wife. So anytime I can carve out, thankfully they're really supportive, so they help me carve out some time. But yeah, that's when I do this stuff, and it's a ton of fun. I love doing it. It does help re-energize me, which is part of the reason why I do it. But if I don't get that off time, production value suffers, which you're seeing today. Uh, the last few days, I have come home from work, varying hours because I've got some stuff going on at work. Keeps me late sometimes. I love working. I love being as active as I can be for as long as I can be. So I enjoy it, but it does, it takes up the day. You get home, and yeah, I've been falling asleep. Not much I can do about it. It doesn't matter if I'm drinking coffee. I could be mainlining Monster as I sit down, and I just can't keep my eyes open. There are some medications that help with that. I am on that, but I still notice that I get waves of that not being enough. So this is one of those weeks. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be better. But today, I must have lost 4.5, 5 hours, which I plan on using for this. That when you wake up and realize you missed all your free time with your family or doing what you like doing outside of friends and family, just realizing it feels like it's been stolen from you. At least that's how it feels for me. And again, I don't speak for anybody else, but I did get a little bit done. I got to do some painting on this little project I got behind me here. But overall, it's just, it sneaks up on you, which is really not fair. It makes you look like a lazy son of a gun, which is also not fair. There's understanding from a lot of people. They kind of get the idea that there's not much control over it, but I know that can't be easy to shrug off every single time. It's got to look like you don't care about your friends. It's got to look like you're just blowing people off, especially last minute. It's got to look like you didn't prep enough, or you're a bad dad or a bad husband, or it's really easy to feel like this disease, or there's many autoimmune diseases that deal with fatigue, but it's really easy to feel like this thing paints a picture of you that's really not good for the world. And it's easy to spin down and believe that lie for yourself. I come back. I don't always come back to it. I try hard to remember Arnold Schwarzenegger quoting his father-in-law, Sergeant Shriver, on the really bad days, when like today, when I feel like I've completely blown an entire week, I try to remember, tear down that mirror. Tear down that mirror that has you looking at yourself. And when you do, you'll see a whole world of other people that you can be helping, even in your crappy, uh, not lethargic, but borderline narcoleptic life. It doesn't matter what you're struggling with. If you stop looking at yourself and start looking out at the rest of the world, when you can, some days you can't, it's just so in your face, but those are the days to fight harder, I think. And so this is one of those situations where I nearly didn't record a thing tonight. I nearly just put off till next week. But the idea that there might be somebody out there that also struggles like I do, or with other things that makes them feel like they're worthless in the world sometimes as far as being productive, that got me up. That got me scrambling here. I'm actually late for something else now, but I'm here and I'm talking to you. And at least today, you were a reason for me to strive and aim up and tear down the wall for me and maybe spin up things in a positive light. And so thank you for being here. It doesn't matter when you're seeing this. You today were special and were the reason somebody made a video and put his heart out there and decided to share despite tremors in his eyebrows and being half asleep and having no production prep to speak of today. There's plenty of reasons to not do something good. Plenty of reasons. You can think of 1,000 reasons not to do something good. They're just things to overcome. Good night. Keep up the good work. Face whatever you can face when you can face it. As always, find a doctor you can trust. Listen to them, make a plan, execute as best you can. And when you have the rough days like this rough week for me, don't stop trudging. Keep moving forward. You can outlast it. The MS will eventually lose. And on the good days, make them great days. Good night. Oh, and happy St. Patty's Day. It's coming up. Woo!